Is anybody else watching those Breaking Bad marathons on Saturday afternoon?
Yeah.
Or am I the only cool person here? There's two of us. Okay. For those of y'all not familiar with the story, Walter White was a high school chemistry teacher. Okay? And he got, as my dad would say, a bad doctor report against cancer. Okay? And in the parlance of the time now, Walter is going to be crossing or getting to the finish line a whole lot earlier than he expected. Okay? So he decides to use his chemistry background and he starts making this bet with this young guy and whatever. And they're dealing with drug dealers, kingpins, and all this kind of stuff. And he starts making a whole lot of money. Okay? Money's just flowing in. Now, the show's creator and producer, Vince Gilligan, never explains to anybody why he's making so much money. But I know why. Okay? You see, Walter White's a smart man. Walter White knew that when he died, and his wife and family got Social Security, that it would be insufficient to support him. You see, Social Security is getting near the finish line, folks. Okay? So, in keeping with that, or as we say in Ackworth, Social Security is fixing to run out of money. Okay. All right. So, when this happened, there's a whole other story of how I got on the subject, but I got all pissed off about it. And I decided that I would write both Senator Ossoff and Senator Warnock a letter. If you will, I'll just read this letter right quick.
Yep.
Do it. Right.
I wrote it March 25th, remember that, but I didn't send it till last Tuesday, April 5th. Okay? Dear Senator Ossoff, this letter is in regards to the solvency of Social Security. Now, folks, the trustees who run Social Security do a report every June. This is June 2021. They haven't done the one for 2022 yet. Okay, I referenced this report twice in my letter. According to the 2021 OASBI trustee report, the Old Age and Survivors Insurance Trust Fund, which pays retirement survivors benefits, will be able to pay scheduled benefits on a timely basis until 2033, 1 year earlier than reported last year. At that time, the fund's reserves will become depleted, and continuing tax income will be sufficient to pay 76% of scheduled benefits. Conclusion, which was about 3 pages later. Lawmakers have many policy options that would reduce or eliminate the long-term financing shortfalls in Social Security. Lawmakers should address these financial challenges as soon as possible. Taking action sooner rather than later will permit consideration of a broader range of solutions and provide more time to phase in changes so that the public has adequate time to prepare. It's word for word. Okay? And then I say, and then there's the issue of what happens to the tens of millions of workers in their 20s, 30s, and 40s who will never see a dime of the 6.2% being taken from their paycheck each pay period unless decisive action is taken. I have some experience with Social Security as I worked for H&R Block 39 years with 37 years as an enrolled agent practicing before the Internal Revenue Service. Here are a couple of suggestions. Each year there is a wage base or a taxable limit above which wages are not subject to the Social Security tax. In 2022, that wage base is $147,000. The quickest and easiest solution would be to eliminate the wage cap and apply the 6.2% tax to all wages. Or we could install a graduated tax above that annual level. For example, we could impose a 1% Social Security tax on the next $50,000 in income. Meaning people making up to 197 would pay 6.2 on the first 147, then 1% on the next 50, and so forth. We could do this up for until they got up to 447,000, up to 6%. To keep matters simple, I'm not addressing Medicare. I know this means that high-earning taxpayers would be paying more in Social Security taxes. But if a taxpayer making $80,000 can afford to pay Social Security tax on all their income, a taxpayer making $500,000 should be able to afford it to pay it as well. Thank you for your consideration in this critically important matter. 2033 is 11 years away. Our deadline is coming up fast, and the tens of millions of Americans who are taxed each pay period deserve to receive their Social Security benefits when they retire. We can no longer afford to kick this can down the road. I included my contact information in case you'd like to discuss this. Let me explain a little bit about this letter for those of you who are not that versed in Social Security, okay? You're working, getting a W-2, you're an employee. Social Security tax are 6.2%. Comes out $30,000 every bit of it, $80,000 every bit of it, up to $147,000 every bit of it. If you make $200,000, you're only going to tax $147,000. And $53,000, the next $53,000 is not going to be taxed at 6.2%. Okay? My fans. So, what I was trying to say in this letter, okay, was that why don't you just raise the cap and just keep taxing these people at 6.2% or phase it in at a graduated level, okay? Now, you know that there's just sort of let that settle in. We good? Okay. Now, you know there's a real slim and none chance of this happening. And why is that? Obviously, because we are raising the tax on high earners. Okay? And be very clear about this. I have nothing against high earners. Okay? My dad was a high earner. There were several years in my life, in my career, where I went over the wage limit. It wasn't 147. It was in the 80s back then. But I would go over it, and in December, I'd get extra money. Okay? I would get less. Wouldn't have the 6.2% taken out. Okay? And when I was preparing taxes, there were like lots of people, high earners, nice people. Okay? I'm not attacking them at all. Okay? I'm just looking for a solution to this problem. Okay? But for all the people that are real nice about it, every now and then you're going to run into some little shit ass. excuse the hate speech here, Corey. Every now and then you're going to run into some shit ass, all right, who's going to take his $15,000 contribution check. He's going to wave it under some politician's nose. He's going to say, look, it's the little man that needs Social Security. Let the little man fix it. And if you even think about raising my taxes, I'm giving this check to your opponent. All right? So we got a problem there. All right? So that's what I was trying to accomplish with my letter. Yeah. Okay. So remember when I saw my first letter? My first letter was when? March 25th? This letter comes down, this comes off the Yahoo feed, March 29th, 4 days later. It says, raising Social Security's full retirement age from 67 to 70 is the wrong way to fix the program. So I'm digging all these things out, printing up, studying, reading all this kind of stuff. The main thing here, this comes from, by the way, I'm real suspicious of people. Okay, so I'm always looking at who published this stuff. Market Watch is owned by Dow Jones. Dow Jones are the people that run, they print the Wall Street Journal and Barron's. And these are pretty factual things, okay? I got a lot of credibility with them. But anyway, they're talking here, and the thing here they've got is, moreover, increasing the full retirement age is the most pernicious form of benefit cutting because it hurts the most vulnerable who are forced to claim early. And it's clear who these people are, okay? Essentially what they're saying is that it's going to hurt people who aren't college educated, particularly African Americans, worse than good college educated black people. Then, here it is, April 3rd. Here's another article. Social Security retirement age is moving to 60. I didn't look for this. It just popped up on my Yahoo newsfeed. Social Security retirement age is moving to 67. Some experts say it go even higher. Okay? So, here. These people are nice enough to throw out some solutions. To shore up the program, lawmakers have a choice of increasing taxes on benefits. I don't know what the hell they're talking about there. The benefits are Social Security payments. Currently, at the max, you have to include 85% of your Social Security. Okay, and then it gets taxed at the normal rate. So I'm not really sure what they're talking about there. Then it says raising payroll taxes. In other words, instead of 6.2, you pay 7.2 or something like that, okay? Or increasing the retirement age. And one of the things that pisses me off, they say, well, we increase the retirement age because people are living longer. I'm like, dumbass. Just because people are living from 88 to 92 does not mean that in their 60s they have more energy, okay? And I turned 67 in December. This is when and I like not working. I retired January 2021, and I worked for 40-something years. And I like not working, okay? But nowadays, I just don't have the goddamn energy that I had when I was in my 50s, okay? And then, Governor, this is April 3rd. April 4th, here's another one. Opinion, Republicans have painted themselves in the corner over fixing Social Security's finances, says that higher payroll taxes are politically untenable. What's left is politically unpopular benefit cuts, okay? I had to look up untenable. It says not able to be defended. So if you can't defend higher payroll taxes, i.e. taxing wealthy higher earners, okay, then you have to cut the benefits. I respect the 5-minute time limit here. I'm going to get out. But this needs to be a campaign issue is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to raise awareness, okay? This needs to be a campaign issue that when these people get up there and they start talking all this kind of stuff, you need to say, hey man, you know, what pisses me off is like, you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s. I got 6 grandchildren in my 20s. They're all working. They're getting a 6.2% tax they can have their paycheck. They deserve to see that money. That's fair. Okay? So, just needs to be a campaign issue. We all need to make it a campaign issue.